Hello there. Welcome back to Empower Your Soul. I recently embarked on a new journey to learn shamanism, and I just completed my first class. So I wanted to talk about that, and I hope you don't mind me doing this in this episode because it's a little, I'm going to say, off my typical beaten path in a way that it's not mediumship, not at all. It's not Akashic Records. It's something entirely different. But yet I have been called to learn some of the shamanism practices, and the universe put me in the right place at the right time. So I thought I would talk about the first weekend that I had with this 9-month shamanism training, and I am blown away. So let's talk about what it took me to get there, to find this class. Let's talk about what the class experience is, and then also my struggles with this shamanism already and how I'm kind of dealing with it and how I'm processing what I've learned so far. And it's going to be interesting. So thank you so much for joining me today. So this shamanism practice has been calling me for a very long time. So I have had so many different readings with my own departed loved ones in practice groups with professionals that I hire. And they would always tell me that I needed to go spend time with nature. They would literally say, go sit and talk to the trees, that the land that I purchased chose me, things like this. And I'm just like, this is just so weird, right? Like I do mediumship. I don't talk to trees, right? Doesn't mean that you can't, by the way, because you totally can, because everything's an energy. So you can talk to everything that has energy, which is literally everything. But I know that I am supposed to be working with nature and the elements so much that I recently, as you may know, got a tattoo of all of the different elements, earth, fire, air, and water. And it's on my forearm because I know I'm supposed to do something bigger with Mother Earth here. So, okay, cool. That's really neat. So I started reading a few different books. I started learning a few of the different tools. But what I found, and a lot of people will actually promote self-study in terms of the shamanism practice because you're supposed to be working with shamanic guides. I'm going to say on the other side, your spiritual guides to help you learn this modality if you are not specifically trained as an apprentice here in the physical world. But I love that, but also I'm very skeptical. So I thought that I needed a more well-rounded training that was not just as the books, as with my guides, like not just the what of what I'm supposed to do, but also the how and the why, because that's how my brain works. I need to know why things are working the way they are. I need to know the science, the method, the ideas behind it for me to understand and fully comprehend what I'm doing. And I think that's what makes, I'm going to say, me unique, and I, as a teacher, but also I encourage this of all of you as well, because I don't just take the tools for what they are. I like to take them and adapt them to my energy, my expertise, my experiences to get the most out of them. So that's why I really need to understand everything about these tools, soup to nuts, so that I can really make it mine. But I have to tell you, it took me forever to find a teacher. I mean, when I say forever, it's probably about 2 years. But for me, in fast mode, always sprint mode, marathon, like I'm always going 100 miles per hour. That is a long time for me because I just couldn't find the right teacher. So the teachers that I wanted, they don't really teach anymore, or they teach on site. And I'm not traveling to New Mexico. I'm sorry. I'm sure it's a lovely place, but I have kids and chores and things that I need to do here. So I can't take 3 weeks out of my year to go travel and learn this in person as much as I would want to. Other teachers really, I'm going to say, dial in on like the psychedelics as part of it. And I know that's part of the tradition of several of the shamanic cultures, but it's just not me. It's not me. And a lot of them are actually teachers that were taught by another teacher that were taught by another teacher. So it's almost like that Reiki model where you pass down your learnings. And I know traditionally, as I say this out loud, I know traditionally that's the way to do it, but I would much rather go as close to the source as possible with people who have lived this, with people who have immersed themselves in their lifestyle, and people who, I'm going to have to say, direct knowledge of these tools and why we use them. And it's not just something I can learn from somebody else who learned it. You know what I mean? Like down the pipeline, because it's just like the game of telephone friends. When we're little, things get lost in translation. I just told you I like to take the tools and make it mine. I'm sure everybody else does too. So I really want the purest version of the training so that I can really make it mine and not just make it mine adapted from somebody else's make it mine. So one day, So needless to say, it was a very long time for me to find the right teacher. And honestly, I'd kind of given up. And I just told my guides, I'm like, if this is what I'm supposed to learn, I'm going to leave it to you. You are going to have to show me the way and bring the teacher to me. And I'm going to talk about that too. Fast forward, or I guess rewind from current state, to October 31st of this year, Halloween. I took a half day off of work to get my hair done from my lovely best friend, Kim, who's the best, by the way, the best. And she introduced me to somebody that was at the salon that day that she's been meaning to introduce me to, meaning to hook me up with. And she was such a freaking blessing, like such a freaking blessing. So I met her. She's fabulous. We exchanged information. She works in the spiritual space as well. She's had some very prominent roles in the spiritual space. I'm going to leave it neutral there. But she ended up telling me about a retreat she has coming up with 2 shamans. And I said, tell me more. And she proceeded to tell me about her really good friends that happen to be shamans, that learned it from the Incan Quieto shamanism, and that this gentleman essentially was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, told he had 3 months to live. Every doctor he went to, opinion after opinion after opinion, went to, they all indicated that he was terminally ill. He would be dying in 3 months. And he said, I know that's not true. So he ended up going down and finding, through spiritual guidance, finding Quieto shamans in Peru who taught him how to heal himself. Because I think that's a really important key with shamanism. It's not that I'm going to go and fix all your problems. I'm going to give you the tools to fix yourself. And I love that. That's me. Like, I want to give you the tools to fix yourself. You are empowered. You are amazing. You are strong. You are resilient. You have every tool in your toolbox to fix yourself. You just need to know what to use and how to use it. So I researched them. I held a quick intro call with them. And what happened is, after their training for a 9-month program started a week and a half after I met this woman. So you can't make it up. Like, the universe absolutely sends you exactly what you need at exactly the right time. And I really enjoyed not only meeting them and hearing their story, but also learning them, how they geek out about the science behind what they do and why they do it. And they come from, I'm going to say, more of a scientific background. And so for me, they are honestly the perfect teachers, 100%. So I was so excited to finally find my shaman teachers and sign up for this class, which, again, I just had the first weekend of this 9-month program last weekend. So here's what the first 2 classes, the first weekend, look like for this. Is on the very first call, the Quieto elders actually joined our call. I did not expect the Peruvian shamans that this man, worked with to join our call. Not only did they join our call, but they actually blessed and created an opening ceremony for our training. And I was blown away by this, and like the power and being able to sit in an actual true shaman's energy that is from the culture. And by the way, I love the Quieto shamanism because I'm going to say it, and I'm sorry that I have to say it, it's not cultural appropriation, because this is the one shamanism culture where they say you need to teach it to other people. We do not want to hold the secrets. We do not want to gatekeep all of the information that Mother Earth has given us to help people heal themselves. We want this to be spread. And that was actually the agreement with my teacher, is I will teach you how to heal yourself, but then you need to turn around and teach it to other people, because they just don't have the technology. They don't have the spread, right? Like they don't have the people. So they want to spread the word of their shamanistic teachings, but they don't know how. So that was the agreement between the two of them. And how freaking cool is that, right? So yeah, the Kyoto elders joined our Zoom call, all dressed up in their amazing traditional outfits. And I want to say they blessed us. I'm not really sure. I got to be honest. I don't speak their language. There was a little bit of a translation going on, but it was just amazing to have them open up and kind of, I'm going to say, initiate us for the training. We learned all about that Kyoto history, the Incan Peruvian history of these shamans. We learned about the medicine wheel, which they call the chakana. We blessed our first stone that we use in ceremonies and healing activities, which is really cool. And it just makes sense because I collect stones all the time. So when they told us at break, go outside and find a stone, I was like, I have about 40 in the room I'm sitting in that I've collected from all over the world, from the Pacific Ocean, from the Atlantic Ocean. And I was like, I got this. I have all the stones. So it was really cool for me to like pick through all my stones that I don't know why I picked. I just love stones. I love Mother Earth. So be able to pick like the perfect stone for the exercise and for like the definition of what this stone is going to represent and how we're going to use this tool. So that was really cool. We also learned all about our energetic bodies, how yoga and Qigong and the meridians remove all of these energetic disturbances and blockages so we can show up as our best selves every day, and also for our clients if we're taking clients. And then we also learned how to open a sacred space and actually do cord cuttings with people as well. It was so fucking cool. Like it was so for me that comes from the spiritual background. Immediately I could see everything from a new perspective. So it was so interesting because I have been focusing, I'm going to say honestly, more on the mind and the spirit and less on the body. And this first trimester of work is all about your body and your energy. And I know energy, I know healing, right? But this is more about integrating it into your everyday and not just going for these spiritual tune-ups periodically. It's more like, how do you live your best self every day instead of having this wave of, I'm great. Oh, I got burnt out. Now I'm feeling low energy. I'm going to go get a massage. I'm going to go get Reiki, fix my energy. And then like, it's more about the everyday. And I loved that. I love that. So it really helped me, I think, become more aware of how there's a balance between the mind, the body, and the spirit, that you need to bring everything at the same level. You need equilibrium between all of those. And this really is just an expansive experience for me so that I can really bring my full self and show up in a way for clients that I never have before. And I have been doing more yoga and Qigong in the recent days just because I'm realizing how much it does clear out my energy and make me, I don't know, happier, clearer, show up better for my client, able to receive the messages a little bit better from spirit. So I need to practice what I preach and get there too. But I also want to talk about what I struggled with this training. As cool as it was, I obviously want it to go faster. I don't want a 9-month program, right? I want it to be like a 2-week program. Give me all of the training in 2 weeks. But, you know, it's a journey, right? And I understand that a lot of what we're learning is integrating and doing it for ourselves first and figuring out how do we implement these tools, how do we integrate this knowledge in our own energy so that we can really embody it and embrace it so that we can then bring it to our clients. So I understand this is going to be a journey, and I am taking the next few weeks to really work on the energy, the daily energy maintenance in my own body. So that's going to be something that I'm going to struggle with, absolutely, for sure. And then something personally that I struggle with is that, and I think I'm changing my perspectives, but I really, really, really wanted to learn the Native American shamanism modality. That one's a little bit of cultural appropriation though, right? Because they don't teach you, they don't tell you to spread the word, right? So I know culturally it's not what I should be doing, but I have had past lives where I have been an Iroquois healer, right? Like one of my ancestors is actually Native American, right? Like through my genealogy, I uncovered that one of my ancestors married a Native American woman in the Quebec area. It's like northern, I can't remember. It's like the St. Lawrence area up there. And then as I'm like thinking about this, and even as I've jotted notes down for this podcast, but even as I'm talking above, it doesn't matter what modality I study, because I'm learning the practice. And a lot of these shamanistic cultures all around the world all have the same basis of information. They just apply the tools slightly differently. And I'm going to apply the tools slightly differently anyway, just based on what I know and what I feel. So that is something that I'm struggling with, for sure. And I think I'll come around on it, but I personally just don't feel like I have any ties to South America, the Peruvian culture, that kind of thing. So that's a little bit of a leap for me that I'm going to have to figure out and get over. I'll just put that out there. Number 2, I'm already seeing and Googling some of the more science-based lessons that he gave in the teaching, and I can't find some of the evidence to my teacher's claims. Right? I mean, some of it, yeah, I am Googling. I'm like, oh yeah, no, I didn't know that. That's true. But then he said something in the training and I was like, I can't find that anywhere. I'm like, my head's like, that doesn't make sense. I'm going to Google that after. I literally highlighted it in my notes and I Googled it after. And there's an element of it that was correct, but the way he said it was incorrect, which I need to not be so black and white about these things. But I'm still trying to find fault in this energetic experience, this shamanic experience. And I have to really get over the fact that spirit is just kind of leading the witness and giving me space to explore. And also, we all know science doesn't solve everything. Not everything has been uncovered or measurable from scientific terms. So just because I can't see it, or just because he says it in a way that doesn't resonate with me, I think I still need to learn to take the lessons of it and not the actual black and white, because the fuck am I kidding? I talk to dead people, right? Like, you can't prove that scientifically. So I just love that I'm still so skeptical, but also I need to fucking let it go. And then third, I would say, is I'm realizing through this training that I brush off and immediately ignore or purposely just don't listen to some of the stuff that I don't value. So yoga for me, never really enjoyed it. I'm going to be honest with you. I know there's benefits. I know there's proven benefits. I know it's been existing and successful for people for thousands of years. But for me, I like lifting heavy weights. I like doing more powerful, high impact, faster workouts than yoga, right? Yoga to me feels like relaxation. I know it's not easy though. I think that's probably this love-hate thing that I have with it. But yoga is just not my jam. And a quarter of the weekend was doing yoga and Tai Chi and learning and feeling how it impacts our body, right? Another example is like, I've already done research on the medicine wheel from a Native American culture perspective, but he's introducing it in a different way with the chakana. And I'm like, like, it doesn't resonate with me. It's not a natural fit for me, and it's not a natural fit in my energy. And so what I'm really learning through this is I need to, when I have that initial reaction, that tends to be my ego wanting to protect my knowledge, excuse me, and prove that I am right or that I already have my shit together. But what I need to really do is take the higher level initial thing he says or anyone says, like, let me see if spirit can drop in a really good example for me. When someone says the sky, I'm hearing them say, when someone says the sky is blue, and I look up at the sky and I disagree, I feel like it's a navy. Like, I feel like it's not like that. Just sure. I don't know. I'm not good at colors, everybody. I'm not good at colors. This is the worst example. But if someone says it's a lighter blue and I'm like, no, I see it as a darker blue, I'm not going to immediately dismiss everything that person says because of what they said and my disagreement with them, which is something, I'm going to be honest, I tend to do that. But that's me protecting myself, right? So instead, I'm learning to agree to disagree on that statement, but then understand the why behind it and what is the lesson I need to learn. Because under the surface, I might find that we agree, or I might find we have the same perspective on things. Yeah, the sky is blue, but it's not sky blue, it's a navy blue, right? And I would agree. Yes, absolutely, the sky is blue. So understanding the commonalities, trying to look at things from a different perspective. I hope that makes sense. Trying to look at things from a different perspective and trying to be more, I'm going to say, open to what people have to say, even when I have this strong initial disagreement with it, and just letting it, I don't know, letting it simmer a little bit more and not completely writing it off the first time. So that's going to be something I will absolutely have to work on. So for an example, in the training, they call the energy field around you the luminous field. And that's just a cultural thing. That's part of the shamanism, is they call it the luminous field. I call it the aura, right? So I'm just like, what's this? Oh, what's this luminous field? I'm laughing because on the video right now, because I record these on video and post them on YouTube, I don't know how, but there's a lot of things going on the video that is like, as I said aura, fireworks just went off behind me. So I'm sorry for anyone that couldn't see that. That was very interesting. So that's kind of my journey with the shamanism experience. I know I'm supposed to be here. I know the power in what I'm learning, and I know that I'm going to be using it to help people. I don't really know how yet, but I love that it's already making me look at things differently and analyze things in myself and take different perspectives on things. And that's the goal, right? The goal is not only to learn these tools, but also internal growth, so that I can show up for myself better, so I can show up better for my clients. So I'm really excited. I'll probably we'll see, maybe a monthly update, depending on how I'm feeling about it, how I'm feeling about the training. But I know next week is more about the energy and the chakras, which have extensive background in with all my healing modalities that I'm certified in. So more to come, but I just wanted to share that experience with all of you. And I'm looking forward to this. This training is going to run through early June of next year. So much more to come. But I just wanted to thank you all for being here today. I am wishing you all such a wonderful and amazing day. And I guess that's all I had for today. Take care, everybody.